Okay, Mouse, show us how well this next mousetrap works.
Well, take a look at this beauty. Today for Mousetrap Monday, we're gonna test out this brand new mousetrap called the Next Trap. It's smaller in size and perfect for tight spaces such as RVs, in shelves, or pretty much anywhere a standard 5-gallon bucket lid style mousetrap does not fit. But does it work? We're gonna set up the motion cameras and find out. Now, I bought this trap on eBay. It's only been on the market for 1 week and it costs $50.
Now here's a closer look at this trap. It's pretty short at just over 10 inches tall, and it consists of 2 different pieces that separate. The lower piece is called the jug, and on the outside it has a spiral ramp that leads to the entrance and the trapping mechanism. The trapping mechanism is a spindle that rotates, and it has 4 paddles. As the mouse tries to get the bait on the back, it will rotate and it'll drop down. This is where you place the bait, you spin it and pull it out and fill it with peanut butter. That will draw the mice in. We'll go ahead and separate it so you can see the trapping mechanism at a different angle. It's pretty tight in there. There, as you can see, that spins very easily. Any mouse that tries to get the bait won't be able to navigate this obstacle course. Now this trap is so short that if you don't add water, the mouse could jump out. But that is becoming more of a sensitive subject. Across the world, it's becoming more common for countries to ban mouse traps that drown mice. Along with sticky glue traps, this trap would be completely illegal in Iceland. And recently in Norway, a lady was fined $600 for making a mouse trap that caught mice in a bucket of water. So you do have to make sure that this style of trap with water in the bottom is legal where you live. In Europe, it's pretty questionable. In the US, it's still legal in most areas. So we're going to go ahead and test it out. But I'm not going to add water at first. Instead, we're going to leave it dry and test it out with our pet mice. See if they go in there, watch it spin, and see if they drop down. Okay, Mouse, show us how well this next mousetrap works. Well, the opening's kind of large and it was able to wedge itself with its tail, but eventually it dropped down. So that's a good sign that this will work. Let's add some water and set this up in the barn with motion cameras to see if we can catch wild mice. Now it doesn't take long for a mouse to show up, and it doesn't even use the spiral ramp. Instead, it jumps on top of the trap. It can smell the bait, so it drops down and it feels those paddles move. Those rotate very easily, and it's hesitant to actually go in. We almost got it there, but it backed out. Now I put some bait right on the outside to draw them in, and it is feasting on that. It really likes the food, but it just isn't committing going all the way in. And it doesn't take long for this mouse to give up. It jumps down and it goes away. But another mouse returns, or this is the same mouse, I don't know, it jumps on top of the trap again, and it really wants the bait. So it goes to the opening, it jumps in, we got it, but immediately it jumps out and it's pretty wet, it's dragging a trail of water. So clearly this trap will not work if it's empty or just a small amount of water. A mouse returns, there's actually 2 mice in there. Again, it checks out the opening, it feels those paddles move, and it doesn't fully commit.
Well, clearly, if we want to catch mice with the next trap, we need to add more water. Right now, there's only 2 inches and the mice can jump out. So we'll go ahead and add more. We want it high enough that the mice can't jump out, but low enough that it's not going to hit these paddles as they rotate. Let's see, now we have almost 4 inches. Let's go ahead and set up the motion cameras again and see if we can catch mice with the next trap.
Well, last night, this next trap worked much better. The mouse climbed up the ramp, tried to get the bait in the back, stepped on the paddle, and when it did, it spun and dropped down. And with enough water, the mouse could not escape. This is a pretty clever trap. I like the small size. I would change a few things to make the opening slightly smaller. That way, when the mouse enters, it's on the most stable part on the spindle. Then when it tries to get the bait, it shifts its weight and drops down. There's less chance of it getting wedged right on the edge. Now, one thing about this trap is you do have to check it every single day. Otherwise, it could smell pretty bad in there. I'm going to go ahead and dump out the mouse in water and then give you my final thoughts. Well, believe me, I know it makes me seem pretty weird that I get so excited about finding brand new mousetraps, but because I have the largest YouTube channel in the world that reviews mousetraps, I'm always looking for new ideas, and this one has a lot of potential. Most of the mousetraps out there haven't been tested with real mice, and they need major improvements. This one is pretty close to being finished. I changed a few things, but overall, it could be a great mousetrap. I especially like the smaller size and the spinning paddles. Now this is very similar to a mousetrap that I invented called the Dizzy Dunker, but I don't consider it a copy. It's so different, I consider it someone trying to make a better mousetrap. Here's my Dizzy Dunker right here. You can see the spinning paddles. It took me over a year of testing it out with motion cameras to find the perfect size hole and design to catch mice. This one could really improve with slight modifications in the front here, and I really love it when people use their brains to come up with new ideas. However, I do get pretty frustrated with blatant copies. Here's the Dizzy Dunker, and here's one they make in China and sell on Amazon. They just took my idea and completely copied it, but this is not a copy, it's a great mousetrap. If you have an idea for a great mousetrap, try making a prototype and I'll test it out on my YouTube channel, or even just send me a picture of the idea, a drawing, and I'll try to make it. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider clicking that button. I've posted over 1,000 videos on YouTube, and currently I'm posting new videos every Monday and Friday. So if you want to see the best videos on how to catch mice, rats, squirrels, chipmunks, moles, voles, and gophers, stay tuned.